We don't have an intro to this podcast. Maybe we'll have one later.
And I'm back. Hello, this is the Film Crew Podcast. My name is Quan, and it is August 23rd, 2021. And oh shit, I just had a nostalgia trip. No, I didn't, but I wanted to bring up nostalgia, and I didn't know how to segue into that. What is nostalgia? Well, you get nostalgia when you reminisce upon a pleasant memory of your past, kind of like going to Disney World or watching your first porno. But here's the question: is nostalgia always good? Well, I mean, yeah, because I use the term pleasant memory, it can only make sense that nostalgia is always good. But what if it's not? That that makes no sense at all. Let's just segue into the topic, and I'll bring up nostalgia as we go. Uh, I want to talk about a specific movie today. I want to talk about the 2004 SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Now, what is the 2004 SpongeBob SquarePants movie if you are too young and don't know what that movie is? Because I think there are now two other movies. Well, it's your typical plot of SpongeBob and Patrick going on an adventure. About an hour something long movie. Uh, Patrick, SpongeBob. Sorry, not Patrick. Plankton. Trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula as always, but this time actually succeeding by stealing King Neptune's crown. And for some reason, King Neptune has like a thing about his baldness, so he needs his crown. Plankton frames Mr. Krabs, he succeeds, and SpongeBob and Patrick have to go save the day. And it is a SpongeBob SquarePants movie, so they succeed. Now, there is one glaring detail that is different about this movie and all the episodes prior. It's the fact that the whole, I guess, thing besides the Krabby Patty formula that revolves around the plot is the fact that SpongeBob wanted to become the manager of the Krusty Krab 2, the second Krusty Krab that Mr. Krabs built right next to the first because he likes money. And it's one of those things where obviously SpongeBob wants to be the manager, but he fails. He learns a lot of things with Patrick, and in the end, he ends up becoming the manager of Krusty Krab 2. But that's the thing. Now, continuity states that season 4 on to, I think we're at season 13 right now, has SpongeBob being the manager, but he's not. Now, why was that thing like? Now, here's the question: why was the Krusty Krab 2 a thing, SpongeBob being manager a thing, if they decided to just, I guess, throw it all aside? And this is a point where I have to bring up Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, because this was like one of the last things he worked on when it comes to like SpongeBob SquarePants. He decided not to take part in any future like works or episodes. And that's because he wanted the SpongeBob SquarePants movie to be the finale. And it kind of makes sense if you just look at the movie as a finale. Um, let's bring up another movie or series that kind of relates to the situation. Ed, and Eddy. Ed, and Eddy had a movie come out as a finale, and it deals with the Eds going to find Eddy's brother. Eddy's brother turns out he's a dick, and in the end, the the kids of the cul-de-sac beat up Eddy's brother, I guess, and the Eds finally get the recognition that they always sought after, because it was never about the money. It was about having fun with the kids of the cul-de-sac. But they kind of threw the Eds to the side. Now, if we're gonna compare that to the SpongeBob movie, it's kind of the same thing in a way, because we have the whole plot, which is trying to save Mr. Krabs, and you get like a really satisfying ending, which is everyone like cheers on SpongeBob. Even Squidward's like really proud of him, even though Squidward's like not really like that with SpongeBob, and he ends up becoming the manager of his own Krusty Krab. That's like a pretty big deal in SpongeBob's case. And if you told me that this movie would be the last viewing or showing of a SpongeBob SquarePants anything, that would be a I guess satisfying end. But obviously, it didn't end that way. You have season 4 through 13, 2 extra movies, and a bunch of spin-offs, which isn't what Steven Hillenburg really wanted. What Steven Hillenburg wanted was to educate kids in a way that it would be fun for them. And I think he achieved that with seasons 1, 2, 3, and the movie. It could have ended there, and everyone would have been satisfied. I personally believe, but I guess the ratings say otherwise, because it obviously continued. Now, the SpongeBob movie is seen by the eyes of many as the death of SpongeBob SquarePants. And it shows, you have the Patrick being a dumbass and being really arrogant and all that shit. You have Plankton. There was an episode where I guess you have Plankton where you pretty much have him mentally scarred by Mr. Krabs in one specific episode, to the point where he tried to end it all. And obviously you have all of the Squidward torture porn that's completely unjustified, and that happens season 4 and on. I'm pretty sure they have like terrible episodes sprinkled in between 1, 2, and 3. But when people talk about, oh fuck, SpongeBob now sucks, they usually bring up season 4 through 13. Now this is when I should bring up nostalgia. Obviously, you have a bunch of people now, adults, who are saying, wow, this show has fucking died. But it doesn't really show you. If you look at IMDb, you don't really see like a complete bomb of SpongeBob SquarePants episodes. I'm talking about bomb as in the ratings like tanked. If anything, it started to slowly trickle down to like from 8 and 9s to 7, 6, 5, and occasionally it would come up with a I guess Nickelodeon comes up with a good episode and goes back to like 7, and then it completely, that's what it looks like now. But here's the thing, what if it's more the fact that we as the adult viewers remember SpongeBob in a nostalgic light? Like, here's the thing, this is something that I'll take to my grave, this is my opinion, but I believe that SpongeBob SquarePants isn't written for the SpongeBob SquarePants fan of the 2000s, the millennials, 2000 to 2005. It's not written for us. It's written for newer kid audiences. So my theory is, what if we as the adults view SpongeBob SquarePants as terrible because it's not written for us? You could check the now if you look at like those Squidward compilations in the comments, you'll see something along the lines of, As a child, we rooted for SpongeBob, but as an adult, we relate more to Squidward. Maybe we don't like SpongeBob now because our viewpoints in the world have changed, and therefore SpongeBob just doesn't relate to us anymore. And that's why I bring up nostalgia. You have such good memories. Saturday morning, you have your cereals and your PJ. You go downstairs to watch Nicktoons, and what was it? Nick Kids or something like that. You go down, you have like your Cocoa Pebbles, and you watch SpongeBob for a long time with the other great Nick classics. But it's now destroyed because what you truly loved as a kid is now, I guess, bastardized with different humor and different content. And that's why my question is nostalgia always good? Because in this sense, I guess technically speaking, it is kind of bad. And I think Andy Bernard says it best. I wish there was a way to know that you were in the good old days before you've actually left them. Or you could say SpongeBob now just really sucks. This quote has nothing to do with it. Uh, let's be real here. The writing has been pretty poor, but the SpongeBob movie, in my eyes, honestly, is like a fitting finale. I haven't watched a SpongeBob SquarePants movie or SpongeBob SquarePants episode since. Uh, but yeah, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We have an Instagram, Film Crew 7. We don't have a Twitter, but if you do want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Crew Film. We're not going to post anything. You can find us on any podcast site available. I also have a YouTube channel. Quan is gaming at Derry Quan Gaspar. He's not with us right now. Gaspar _the _creature. That's all I have. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.
We also don't have an outro either. We'll probably have one soon.